Hello everybody, this is quixQuery here, and today we are back to play some more Hermit Pack, and we left off last episode with this spirit, this soul vial, which has a spirit in it, and it spawned when we killed the wither, and I've seen him spawn from other things other than the wither, but I honestly have no idea what this thing is from, and so we are going to, from random things is what it's from. Okay. So if we look at the mod at random things, we can see what it has to offer. So I read pretty much the entire wiki on the random things thing, on the random things mod, and honestly, it is one of the coolest mods I've seen, and that's why I read the entire wiki, honestly, because there's so much good stuff in it. There's so many cool features about it, and so it is just a bunch of random things, but honestly, there's so many things you could do with this. And this right here is called a Biome Radar, and if you found those biome crystals, things that look like this, the biome crystals, in dungeon chests, you're probably wondering what on earth they do, or if they're crap or something like that. Well, turns out they aren't necessarily the worst things in the world, especially if you aren't as familiar with your world, and especially things like a mushroom island biome sensor and stuff like that. And so what you can do is you can place one of those inside this, what's called a biome radar. You need to make sure that you have these iron bars here, just vanilla iron bars, in this position like this, and you can then use the lever, and right here we have a jungle M biome crystal, and so say if I needed to find a jungle M biome, what I can do is place a lever on this, power it, and it should, and it should start searching, yeah, there we go. It should start searching for the biome that we have in the crystal in there. And so a mushroom island biome crystal would be super valuable. Because when you don't know where the mushroom island biome is, and so that's actually pretty cool. And so yeah, I did not know that about this mod yet, and so if we wait here, there should be a fifth one that appears that directs us toward where the jungle M biome would be. So apparently this thing takes a while because I've been waiting here for a little bit just seeing if it was gonna start up, and so what we're gonna do is go and look at some other things first and come back and see if this has found the biome yet. So we're gonna go back down into our basement to look at another couple of things from the random things mod. If you were wondering what the best way to deal with a cursed earth farm is and make adjustments, well, the best way is to get rid of it with fire. So that's what we have done here, and we are going to remove this farm-ish again and edit it again, and we're going to actually put spawners and stuff in here, but we're going to change it up in a special way. And I'm thinking that this is going to be really, really cool, because I had an idea. Anyway, and so the best way to work with a cursed earth farm is just to remove it now and put the cursed earth back, because you don't have to actually complete a ritual. All you have to do is use a drop of evil on a piece of dirt, and ta-da, you got cursed earth. So yeah. So what we are going to be doing has to do with this stuff called Lapis Glass, and so I'm going to make a bunch of this stuff. That's not as much as we need, but Lapis Glass has a very special property. So as we can see, if we set down this Lapis Glass, which is what we're going to be using for as part of the mob farm, we will stand on this just fine, and everything is normal. But if we get out, say, a zombie, because they're easy to work with, and set him on top, he'll fall right through. Oh, that is not an easy to work with zombie. Or say an Enderman. Endermen are easy to work with, right? There we go, ta-da, see? And so essentially mobs fall right through this stuff, but players and stuff can stand on top. So anyway, that's actually pretty neat, and so we're going to use that as part of our mob farm right here, and so we're going to get rid of a lot of this stuff there and stop using this attractor obelisk because it seems to be bugging out. You can see I put a wither cat in there, and the wither cats did not want to go on top of the spikes still. So yeah, but we're going to be making it using Lapis Glass and something called Quartz Glass, which is essentially the opposite, which is that players can go through it, but entities and mobs and stuff can't. And so we'll be using Quartz Glass to kind of like block off this area so that we can walk in here and move around the spawners and stuff, enable, disable them and stuff without the without affecting the mob farm. And so the mobs will still be falling right through the Lapis Glass, and we will just be able to get around freely without any worries whatsoever. So I must admit, the texture of the glass is not my favorite thing in the world for this build. I might end up replacing this right here that I'm standing inside of, the quartz glass, with a RF Tools force field, because you could do similar things with that. But for the moment, this is actually working out really well. And so you can see that we have all the lapis glass in place, and we have a basic funneling system down there. And while we don't have all of the stuff set up for automatically killing mobs, right now what we have is this thing called a powered spawner with set to spirits. And so spirits are from the Random Things mod. If you don't, we talked about them at the beginning of the episode, and so I have gotten some splash potion of decays from some stuff, and if we splash this, they don't care about wither. That's really interesting, because you can see the particles coming around them, but they just don't care about it. So we really need instant damage in order to be able to do this. So we need to set up some other stuff before that. So let's turn this off for the moment and come back to this when we're ready to kill these guys off. Aha! Splash potion of harming. Pretty simple to craft these things. And now, ta-da! We get ectoplasm from these guys, and I actually need to go down there so I can actually collect it. Let's do that right now. And this ectoplasm can be used to make these specter ingots and other things like that, and it is actually pretty cool. Some of the stuff that we can do with this, and so, ooh, that probably should not have been the one that I opened up. Let's see if we can do this. Oh yeah, we totally can. That's super awesome. Okay, now let's see if we can get a couple more, some more ectoplasm here. So here we are, we have a bunch of stuff, and I have crafted up a lapis block and a gold block, but you don't actually need that much, but it's easier ectoplasm-wise to do this rather than... Yeah, anyway, it only takes 7 ectoplasm this way versus it would take 9 ectoplasm this way to craft 9, and so we're just going to do it like this. And ta-da! And what we want to do now is, in order to get a reliable source of ectoplasm, we want to make this specter sword, which requires obsidian, which we don't actually have at the time. That is a bummer. So there we go, a specter sword. And now, what we can do is bring this over to our spirit spawner over here, turn this back on to always active, and these will allow us to be able to kill off the spirits without using potions, which is super nice. Now, why on earth do we want this ectoplasm other than just to get this specter sword? Well, we can access our own little dimension, and if we have a stable ender pearl, which is not too hard to craft and has its own use that we're going to be looking at later, and a couple of these specter ingots, we can make this Specter Key. Now, with the Specter Key, if we right-click with it for like 7 seconds or so, it should teleport us to... Aha! Our own little dimension thing, which is super awesome. And I am pretty excited about this. I believe you can even expand this upward, and outward and stuff like that. Oh, that is a bug. I don't think it's supposed to have islands in there and stuff like that. But anyway, this is our own little dimension, and we can put whatever we want in here, access it from anywhere, and then if we hold this again for 7 seconds or so, then it'll teleport us right back to where we were before, which is super awesome. Okay, awesome, very cool. And so I am super excited about that, because that is, like, I don't know. I'm pretty excited about that. And that definitely is something that I want to use for different things. But now we're going to look at what's it called a little more in depth. What's it called being the stable ender pearl. And we have one right here from the random things, and if we right click on this, it should be bound to quixQuery. Okay, awesome. And so now, if this gets dropped somewhere and is on the ground for 7 seconds, it should teleport me to it. And we will see, aha, perfect. Oh, wait, is that it? Is it only one use? Oh. Well, okay, so that could have been better. How do you get a stable supply of obsidian? Is there a way of making obsidian? Let's see. UU matter. No, not happening. Water buckets and lava buckets. Actually, that's not a bad way. Tome of Alkahestry. So this does not look like a bad option at all as far as generating obsidian. Now the only problem is that we also need lapis for these stable ender pearls. Lapis, and that is not something we can craft as easily. So yeah, that is going to be an issue if we want to use this consistently. But essentially, the idea I had, and I still kind of want to set it up, and so we're going to make some more stable ender pearls. And so 1, 2, 3. Okay, apparently that's all the lapis we have. So let's make 3, and those are all bound to me now. Okay, and so now we want to get a dispenser and something called a chat detector. Aha! And we need a bunch of repeaters for that. 2, 3, 4. I like that repeater recipe. That's awesome. That is super cool. And so now we can use this chat detector right here. Okay, so what we want to do, and let's just set this up in a room over here, just for convenience sake, and the proving of concept mostly. Put these stable ender pearls in there, and put down this chat detector. And now this chat detector should detect home. Okay, and when it detects home, we want it to get a redstone signal and send it to the dispenser. And so what the chat detector does is it's supposed to detect things that I say in chat and see if it matches the message in there. And if it does, then it'll go and activate the redstone signal connected up to it. And so we want some redstone. Awesome, just a little bit of it. And we can bring that back over here so that we can see if this idea of mine will work. First off, let's just test this out. And so if I say home in chat, okay, it does light up. That's super awesome. And so if we run that on top right there, then we should, from anywhere, be able to teleport to home. And I don't think this works in between dimensions, but we'll just have to see. Okay, here we go. Home, and any moment now it should teleport me. Aha! See, perfect. Now this is exactly what I was hoping would happen, that there would be some, like the dispenser would then dispense out the stable ender pearl bound to me, and then yeah, no, that's super awesome. That anyway, this chat detector is actually from the Random Things mod as well, so it's pretty cool that we were able to wire that little thing up. We're just going ham on the what's it called mod today, the Random Things mod. Another thing I want to do in this mod is, it has to do with something called a player interface. And we're also going to use our chat interface as well, and so we're just going to make another chat detector right now, real quick. Awesome. And we want a player interface, which is a bunch of obsidian, another star, a stable ender pearl. Awesome. Okay, ender chest. That should be pretty simple to craft up. Aha, here we are. So even if you bound your stable ender pearl, apparently you can still use it in crafting recipes, which is super awesome because we are out of lapis right now. But so this is a player interface, and I want to try something out with this. And so what I want is to make a torch requesting system. And so this is our chat detector. And so we want to detect when I say torches, please. Awesome. And so when I say that in chat, we need to emit a redstone signal. And at that point, we want a dispenser. You know what? Let's just set up a real simple system with a dispenser and stuff like that. So we're just going to ask for torch in our chat thing right there, and then that will dispense to a dispenser. Say, like, we're just going to take this dispenser for the moment, and the piece of redstone right there, and then we'll put some torches in there, and so that should then... What side of the thing is that? Okay, it's just a random, it's just a side, and so it should just put it in my inventory. And so if I say torch, did that give me a torch? Or did that not do anything? Okay, we have 30 in there and 30 in my inventory. What happens if I say torch again? Nothing. There's 29 in there, so it's putting it somewhere. I just don't know where it's putting it. It's not in my inventory. Let's... I was just spitting them on the ground. I found the torches lying around here. So what we need to do is figure out if this thing will work at all, or if it's just an input method that is wrong. And so if we make a hopper right here, that should be pretty simple. No, don't throw it on the ground. Okay, awesome. This is our simple little setup right here. And so what happens if we break the redstone torch? It is sending them into our inventory. That is super cool. No way. Okay. No way. Okay. Now, if we say torch, it'll send us 3 torches. That's super cool. No way. Okay, I love that. That is super awesome. I think we're even going to keep this up, even if it's just right here for the moment. Because oftentimes I find that I just like run out of torches or something while I'm doing something, or need a couple for something, and so I think I'm just going to keep that up and use this chat detector right here in combination with this other stuff to do that. That is super neat. I love that. I believe we can use Ectoplasm to expand this thing. Oh wow, that was much higher than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to use all of them at once. I thought it would just use 1 or 2. Man, that's actually pretty cool. So now we have a little area right here. I wonder if you can expand them sideways, or if it's just this little chunk right here. Huh. No way. I wonder if this is like chunk loaded most of the time, or if it is normally not chunk loaded and then will load once we access it with our key right here. This is actually really neat. Though I am wondering what happens if we put blocks on that little spawning space and around it right now, just to see what happens if we go back and then go here again. And maybe? Okay, it spawns us in the blocks instead of on top of them. Okay, good to know. So we probably don't want blocks in the immediate vicinity right here. Okay, so here we are. We see we have a 5th little thing right there, and so now if we right-click this Biome Radar with a piece of paper, we should get a position filter, which tells us where this biome is, which is pretty cool. I am super happy I was able to figure that out, because I had no idea how this thing worked, what those crystals were for, or anything. And so that is pretty neat. I believe we can take this out once we've unpowered it. Yep, and then we can take that out and then reuse this Biome Radar for other different biomes and stuff like that. But to finish off this episode, what I want to do is visit the RF Tools mod and make a way of monitoring our power situation so that we know when it's going up and down, and so we'll know when our solar panels are active versus when they're not active, and other things like that. And so we're going to make a screen for right around in here somewhere. And so we want a screen from RF Tools right here. Pretty simple. Okay. Now, if we put this down, say like right there, and then scan for it in our thing right over here. Scan. Awesome. 4 detected screens. Super cool. Now this one is all connected up. Bright versus not bright. I don't know what that does, but if we also look up power space, there should be a, what's it called? Aha, it's called an energy module, not a power module. And so we want to make one of those, and let's just make the advanced version just for fun. And so sneak right click on a machine to set the target for this energy module, and we want this to target our energy cube back here. And so we are going to, right there, energy module is set to basic energy cube. Awesome. Okay, now it says bar, visibility of the bar, amount of RF, full format, color for, so we can power. Awesome, so this should now be good, and we have our power right there, being monitored live, I believe, actually. So that is super cool, and then we can put some other information and stuff about all of our systems around here in that module, right in that screen right there, which is super awesome. And so that is about all I have planned for today's episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.